This is Review 9, Part 3, numbers 24 through 33. On number 24, which of the following relations is a function? Remember that a function can have no repeated x values. If I look at number 1, if I'm looking at just the x values, my x values are 3, 4, and 3. The 3 repeats, so number 1 cannot be a function. I can cross off every answer choice that has 1 in it, which would be A and C. Number 2, my x values are 3, 4, and 5. None of those repeat, so 2 is a function. Notice both B and D have 2. Number 3, my x values are 3, 3, and 3. The x values repeat, so 3 cannot be a function, which means I can cross off choice D. Okay, just to double check, number 4, my x values are 3, 4, and 5. None of those repeat, so that is a function. So B is our correct answer. On number 25, graph the inequality y minus 6 is greater than negative 3, parentheses, x plus 2. This inequality is in point-slope form. We could do this two different ways. We can either graph from point-slope form, or we can solve for y to get this into slope-intercept form. I'm going to use both methods. I'm going to do one on 25 and one on number 26. On number 25, I'm going to graph from point-slope form. We know point-slope form is y minus y1 m times x minus x1. So our slope is negative 3, and our ordered pair is the opposite sign of whatever is in the equation. So it's negative 2 is the x value, and positive 6 is the y value. So I'm going to start this graph at negative 2, positive 6, and my slope is negative 3, so I'm going down 3 and over 1. My inequality symbol is greater than, so I need a dotted line. Notice my line goes straight through the origin, so instead of testing the origin, I'm going to test the point 1, 1 to decide which direction I need to shade. If I get a true statement, I will shade towards 1, 1. If I get a false statement, I will shade away from it. I'm going to plug this value into my ordered pair. 1 minus 6 is greater than negative 3, x is 1, plus 2. 1 minus 6 is negative 5, greater than negative 3 times 3. Negative 5 is greater than negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. This is a true statement. Negative 5 is greater than negative 9. It's less negative. So I need to make sure that I shade over the point 1, 1. Number 26, graph the inequality y plus 2 is less than or equal to 4 times x plus 1. For this one, we could do it the same way as the last one, but on this one I'm going to solve for y to get this into slope-intercept form. I'm going to start by distributing my 4, and I get y plus 2 is less than or equal to 4x plus 4. Next, I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. Y is less than or equal to 4x. 4 minus 2 is positive 2. My y-intercept is positive 2. My slope is 4, so I need to go up 4 and over 1. This time my inequality symbol is greater than or equal to, so I need to draw a solid line. And I'm going to test the point 0, 0. If I get a true statement, I will shade towards 0, 0. If I get a false statement, I will shade away from it. My x value is 0, my y value is 0. 0 is less than or equal to 4 times 0 plus 2. 0 is less than or equal to 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. This is a true statement, so I need to make sure I shade towards the origin. My solution is everything in the shaded area or every point on the solid line. Match each of the inequalities to the graphs shown. Okay, notice that all of my graphs have a solid line, so all of my inequality symbols are greater than or equal to. So I'm going to start with the y-intercept. On number 27, I have a y-intercept of 1. So I'm going to look for which graph has a y-intercept of 1. F has a y-intercept of 3. H has a y-intercept of 3. G has a y-intercept of 1. And J has a y-intercept of 3. The only one with a y-intercept of 1 was G. Since all the rest of them have the same y-intercept, I'm going to now look at the slopes. Notice only one of these has a negative slope, so I am looking for which graph has a negative slope for number 29. On F, M is positive. H, my slope is positive. It is increasing from left to right. The only one with a negative slope is J. So J has to go with number 29. Okay, lastly, let's count the slope for our two remaining graphs. For F, from one point to the next, I'm going up 1 and over 4. Notice my slopes are in decimals, not in fractions. If I use my calculator and do 1 divided by 4, I get that my slope is 0.25. Number 28 says y is greater than or equal to 0.25x plus 3. Number 30 is y is greater than or equal to 4x plus 3. So the only one with a slope of 0.25 is number 28. Just to double check that h has a slope of 4, on graph h I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. The slope of 4 over 1, or just 4, has to go with number 30. Number 31. The graph below represents the number of hours since midnight that the sun sets in a New England state during the month of September. Which equation represents the line of best fit for this graph? If I draw a line of best fit on my graph, I notice that my slope is negative. So I can cross off all my answer choices that have a positive slope. B and C both have the same y-intercept, so I'm going to focus in on the slope. B has a slope of negative 0.03. C has a slope of 0.3. So I'm going to count from one point to the next, paying close attention to my scale. From one point, I'm going down one box, 18.2 to 18.1, so that's down 0.1. And over one box on the x-axis from 7 to 10 is 3. So right now my slope is negative 0.1 over 3. Using my calculator, negative 0.1 divided by 3 gives me negative 0.03. Repeating. I'm looking for which slope is closer to that. Point B, or choice B, negative 0.03 is much closer, so my final answer is B. Number 32, which of the following situations best describes causation? So I'm looking for where the first thing causes the second thing. The weather gets colder and more people become sick. This might be associated, but the weather getting colder does not cause people to get sick. People get sick from germs. Children who have a larger foot size have a higher reading ability. Foot size and reading are not related. An hourly employee works more hours and therefore makes more money. Possible. As the temperature in Florida increases, there are more shark attacks. These two things might be related as more people go to the beach, but a higher temperature does not cause more shark attacks. So the only one here that makes sense is an hourly employee that works more hours, makes more money. Choice C. Last one, number 33. Grandmother Porter said that she could tell the air temperature by listening to the speed at which the cricket chirps. While camping in the woods for several days, the following data was collected to test her statement. We have a table where we have chirps per minute and the temperature in Celsius. Using technology, calculate the correlation coefficient between the two variables listed in the above table. Remember, the correlation coefficient is R. First, on my calculator, I have to make sure that my diagnostics is on, so I push mode. I go up 3 times and turn diagnostics on. Now I'm going to enter my table into stat. Stat, edit. I'm going to clear out what I have. Okay, I have 110, 130, 154, 158, 179, 210, 230. Temperature in Celsius, 18, 20, 23, 24, 26, 31, and 32. Stat calc 4. Enter, 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 enter. I am just looking for my R value. Notice we have R squared and R. Remember, though, that we just need R. My calculator shows me that R is equal to 0.9956, so that 5 rounds up to 6. My R value is 0.996. This is the end of review number 9. Study hard. Your test will be on Friday, December the 7th.